Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Craig, and this is One Creative Presents Coffee with Craig. After you. Yeah.
Going on?
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be historic. Right?
Trust me.
Yo,
I love it.
this one is a long time coming.
It is a long time.
A very long time coming. And we're in a good spot for it.
Thanks a million.
Lynx Music, same place where we've been doing big vibes
Exactly.
for coming up on 6 months now.
Wow. 6 months.
6 months. And it's just getting, the vibe is getting bigger.
And it's good. That's
Right.
it.
So here we are in the control room. And we're gonna rock this.
Gonna rock. Okay.
After you, my guest.
All right, sir.
Now, we're gonna get very cozy and comfortable. So I'm gonna get this thing recording right away. We got the vibe with the music. I'm gonna switch gears.
Okay. All right.
And-
let's do it.
You're gonna have coffee with Craig, right? Take off the Craig live. We're gonna sit down and relax.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's do it, man.
All right. Let me put this down. All right, so let me turn this down just a little bit. Okay. Make yourself cozy, Jermaine.
All right.
Yes. Officially welcome
Welcome, my
to
man.
Coffee with Craig.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Respect our manners.
Oh my goodness. Jermaine.
That's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. We've been busy for the last 6 months. Well, you're always busy, but
Just the life, man.
yes,
You know, it comes with the territory.
yeah. But we've been busy
Yeah.
together for the last 6 months on Big Vibes, the
That's right.
event series, Big
That's
Vibes
right.
Entertainment, you, me, and Young Shell, which is it's a very surreal, full circle moment. As I was telling someone just recently,
Yeah.
that the event series is with one of the artists that was one of the first artists I ever started working with.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. It's very true.
It's been a long time we've been doing this.
Oh man, if you combine the three of us, it's like almost 100 years of experience.
I don't
That's
like
a
you to throw
beautiful
that
thing.
number out there, but facts.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
facts. But it's a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
I'm excited about all the data that we have gathered throughout the years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we can sit down and have a great moment, conversation, and throw out a lot of good gems for people.
Yeah, yeah. So what we're gonna do today is we're doing something a little bit special.
Okay.
Which is we're gonna talk about creative life, as you know, Coffee with Craig is always like that.
Yes, sir.
But we're gonna think about three main things, especially on the release of your newest album, The Love Script.
The love script.
We're gonna talk about your journey getting here,
Yes.
specifically because the genre and the sound
Yes, sir.
is very different than anything you've ever done before.
Yeah, throw a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's this is officially your third studio album,
Yes.
but that does not include many collaborations,
Exactly.
mixtapes,
Yes.
compilations.
Yes. And there's two albums sitting on the shelf, waiting, while we're in the process of listening to different sounds right now to tap into our next project.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I should also mention we got a crew in the place that has been instrumental specifically on this project.
Yes. Yes.
You did, was it 7 videos so far for the 9-song album? Or 6 videos you did so far for the 9-song album?
Somewhere around that. Yeah. But one of the videos that hasn't released though.
Ah,
You know what I mean?
wait, which one is not released
You know
yet?
what is not on that album.
Yeah. So, yeah, on top of this new album with 9 songs,
Yeah.
since your last album, you've dropped at least 4 that I can, off the top of my head, singles that
Yeah.
are not on this album and not on any other album.
Exactly. Yeah. And there was videos for them too.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
My God, you work hard.
Well, that's what it is, you know what I mean? And the gift will make room for you. And I tell people, don't put a comma where God put a full stop. That is it.
Wow, that's an interesting statement. I
working.
don't think I've heard it in that way.
Still
Don't put a
working.
comma where God put a full stop. So hold on, I have to ask you.
No,
what?
don't put a full stop where God put a comma.
Ah, okay. Now that makes more sense. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? It also triggered my mind and said, oh, wait, I was also there for your very first music video ever,
Yeah.
which was it So?
Yes, yes, yes. Man, so we had at least over 100 people there.
Yeah.
And we had to buy boxes of pizza for people.
Yeah, yeah,
To cover.
of course.
Oh my God, that was a good one, and we didn't get the video, but hey, I don't want to go into that one, but
Yeah.
you know,
It's ups and downs.
ups and downs. Yeah.
Oh man,
But it's
there's
all right.
Jermaine, there's so much. I was thinking about this, and there's so much I want to talk about. I don't know how we're gonna squeeze it all into the
Yeah.
short time we have, but another sort of overall perspective that I'm very curious about is you being Jamaican in Toronto. What's his name? Sting has a song called "Englishman in New York," and I saw on Tiny Desk when he was doing his collab with Shaggy.
With Shaggy, yeah.
And Shaggy said,
That's
"I'm
the
a
album that did.
Jamaican in New York."
Yeah.
And you have been here for many years, always staying strong in terms of the connection back home to Jamaica.
I have to, man.
Yeah, so I'm curious, just in terms of the journey as maybe a good place to start, being a Jamaican in Toronto and being a reggae artist in Toronto, what has that been like?
Man, it has honestly been big challenges because it's like you have to keep connecting. As I say, you have to keep connecting with back home all the time. You know what I mean? That is that to help me or make me stay relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you look at the first 2 albums I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Time In and the template.
Yeah.
Because those albums are more like reggae albums, you know, to keep you current in the space.
Yeah.
But then when you try to tap into other space to do something different, it's like you're losing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But I'm glad where I'm taking them.
Yeah.
It's still relevant because now that genre is big everywhere. Afrofusion or Afrobeat.
Yeah. So this is a very challenging one for me because I've known you so long.
Yeah.
And I sometimes take for granted that not everybody in my audience actually knows all your work.
That's
and
right.
how long you've been in the business and you know the family connections in the business, that how it's in your blood as a Cowan. So share a little bit for me. Well, actually, let me just tell my audience who's listening.
That's right.
Jermaine Cowan, he comes from a musical family doing music festivals and working with the likes of Bob Marley, your uncle Tommy Cowan, your cousin Naomi Cowan.
Nathan.
And, yeah. Not only artists, but DJs and whole gamut, right?
Sure.
And the family that's not into music is still somewhat connected to.
Still connected. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So give us also one other thing from the audience listening is you've been doing music essentially your whole life.
Yes.
And through that, you've done 2 official Jermaine Cowan albums. This is your 3rd that you're on now, called
That's right.
Love Script.
Love Script, yeah.
You have a couple in the bank, which maybe we'll touch on. What is, for you, what is the feeling about who you are as an artist in this landscape, and what your music means to you?
You see, first of all, I have to go back to the starting place, because music is something I didn't want to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was the last thing on my plate.
Okay.
Because I know it was something that came natural to me. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're running from your gift. You know what I mean? And go try other means of other things, and it just never work, and it just has to bring you right back.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the last thing on my plate. Reason being because I know the musical family I came from, my dad, and uncles and aunts, everybody doing music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we get into the acting world too, because my aunt have a theater company back home, used to. So that's where all of those things,
Even now
gather
you're
from.
working in a play.
Yeah. I'm just creative, man.
Yeah.
Because see, the thing is, in school we had around 5 different subjects we had to choose, and is that a business or music? And the obvious one was music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just so I can navigate faster through school, and I chose music. Came here to Canada.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? I really want to be a soccer player. That's really what I wanted to be.
Okay.
And because that was my first love, soccer and acting. Those were my first love.
Anyway, I don't want to go off too much on that. But you thought you were actually gonna go pro with soccer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went semi. I went semi. So.
Yeah. Okay.
And because I was gonna get up out of here, move to the UK or England, wherever it is, and pursue my dreams.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And something that's holding me back here, you know. And I said, you know what, let me tap into this space.
So let's talk about that. When you first came and set roots in Canada, you had some family here already.
Yes.
But musically, you were just like you hadn't really done any recording yet. You were performing in Jamaica. What was the transition like being here and then finally actually recording and starting to express your musical identity?
Well, I'm gonna throw something out, because I think my first official recording is with the House of David. You know what I mean? So if I have to go way back there, that's the first official recording I've done since, you know, when I came to Canada, and it was Lord of All. You shall always be Lord of All.
Yes.
That song. And then we had another one called something about Jesus is my everything, whatever it is. Yeah, man. But Lord of All is when I went into the studio.
Yeah.
Here, I never really done no professional recording back home. You know what I mean? Because I came here at a young age.
Yeah.
And as any young man, we're trying to find ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and what I started in was acting. I was doing a lot of commercial, doing theater, because that's what I was trying to pursue something, you know. And then music drew and pulled me, and that's when I met up with y'all, man.
Yeah.
And Lord of All, I went in the studio, and I was doing the first song because I was going to perform.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to have something professional.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, let's tap into this space. And the guy said, man, you have a good sound, you know. But you need to work on it, you know.
Yeah.
I said, all right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And from then I just say, you know what? I'm just gonna tap into the space. And that's when I call myself JC.
Right.
Then transition to God's Messenger.
Right.
Then I had to come back to Jermaine Cowan.
Yeah.
Because of the Cowan, the name, you know what I mean, that circulates so much back home.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Jermaine Cowan is the name. And I have a big shout out to Andrew James.
True.
Said, you need to just go by your original name.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was history.
Yeah.
And we're here today.
That song, Lord of All, I don't know if anyone could find it today, but
I don't think so.
if I recall, you were performing the song before you recorded it.
Exactly. Yes, I did.
And it was a big tune, which was why everybody was saying, yo,
Yeah.
you need to record that song.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So taking on that journey from Lord of All, your first recording, House of David, doing the compilation stuff, shout out to Young Shell.
Yes, sir.
Then moving from the group / compilation of House of David to Jermaine Cowan as a solo artist, beginning to work on your first solo project. Give us a quick rundown of that journey from there, and then from there to the second album.
So that journey started from North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah, when we came back to come back to Canada. And I think that's when the House of David family, I can't say we dismantled to drift off, but, you know.
Life was happening.
Life was happening, and we had to go to chapters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the chapter I was on the Jermaine Cowan chapter. You know what I mean? And I wanted to define myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when I said, you know, we tap into the album called Timing Album, the Timing Album.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of really get me on the scene, but it's the mixtape got me on the scene.
Right, yes.
The Timing
Yeah,
mixtape.
Bookshelf
And all of these things.
Yeah.
So we just cover back a lot of old songs, or songs that people know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And big shout out to Promise, because he has been a staple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of you guys, you guys have been staple around, help me build a fence around the Jermaine Cowan brand. You
So
know
tell
what I
me this, because the artists you're talking about, myself included, we're not reggae artists.
No.
So you being, again, a Jamaican in Toronto, how did you feel in terms of keeping the realness of your Jamaican vibe as a reggae artist, even as you and I have had conversations where you wanted to kind of branch off and do some pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then realizing you got to make sure that you represent the true, authentic person that you are in your music as well, in terms of the brand.
You know what? Every time when I try to branch off to do other type of sound, you know what I mean? I get chastised. Why are you going there? You know what I mean? Stay to your roots. But you see, I like to be stretched, and that's a big shout out to Promise again. He always stretching me, and because I know I could have fit in different pockets because of ballads. Because a lot of people know me as like dancehall, and I don't do dancehall. You know what I mean?
But
I'm a singer.
Records
that are dancehall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are the ones got me on the scene. You know what I mean? But so that's how I have to try and stay relevant. Any type of song that I do in the project I'm doing, I have to make sure I have one reggae song on it to let them know, you know what? I still got it. You know what I mean? Even on the Timing album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why we created the Timing album, to make it fusion, to let people know that there's diversity when it comes to the Jermaine Cowan brand.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can do reggae, I can do pop, I can do dancehall, I can do Afrobeat, you know what I mean? I can do soul, I can do love song. So anywhere on stage, it doesn't matter the market, I can fit in it.
Okay. So when you think of yourself as an artist who is, I guess, at the core, in terms of what you started out doing was reggae.
Reggae, yeah.
Also at the core, what you started out doing was gospel.
Yes.
And yet also at the core, you were already collaborating with hip-hop artists from the very beginning. So when you think now about what's going on in music in terms of reggae, hip-hop, Afrobeats is just a little bit more new in terms of popularity and people knowing what it is and vibing with it. Where do you see yourself, especially with this project and what you know you have working on? Where do you see yourself in terms of defining your sound? Is this a stop on the map, like this is Jermaine Cowan moving forward, or are you going to be still exploring different things?
The great question. As Promise and I have been talking, I'm like, you know what? Should I stay? When we look at the reggae market versus the Afrobeat market, or we should say the mainstream market, you know what I mean? Reggae is still here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's so much more out there, man.
Yeah.
And I wanted to continue to explore, but to know that I can sit down and, you know, I said, hey, promise, we're going to do a reggae album tomorrow. Because I love as rock.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love making people move and all of these things,
Yeah.
you know, connected to their feelings and all of these things.
Yeah.
You know, and me, I love to dance. So that's part of the reason I tap into the Afrofusion market. You know what I mean? And I've been listening to Afrobeat more than a decade now because of my brother-in-law.
Right.
He actually introduced Afrobeat to me.
Okay.
Over maybe 10 years plus.
Yeah.
And from then I've been trying to explore, and hopefully one day I would tap into the space.
Okay. So it's not just like, you know, one day you just pop in your mind and you say,
No. This has been a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know if I sit down with 90% of my Jamaican people, you know what I mean? A lot of them don't even know what's going on in the Afrobeat culture.
That's facts. That's facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do the dance.
Yeah.
You understand? All of these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love exploring. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm sitting down, I'm like, man, I would love to do even a country song.
Okay.
Because I have the vocals. The vocals is there to do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, two things that I really love about you. One is, there's many things actually, but just coming to mind. One is the work ethic.
Yeah.
You don't stop working, you don't stop building, you don't stop creating. No matter, we went through a pandemic for how many years and you didn't stop working.
Never stop working. Big shout out to Krown and the whole team of Flash.
Yes.
Because they were in the pandemic with me. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then the other thing is the growth.
Yes, sir.
You know, we talked about Timing being the first album being very gospel, dancehall, reggae vibe. The next album, Template, obviously the mixtape was like pure dancehall kind
Pure
of.
dancehall. Yeah.
But then the next album, the Template, you started to explore some other things, but it still had that that connective tissue of what Jermaine's sound.
That album,
like.
we had to rush it, you know. We had to rush to put out that album, you know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't know, but we had to rush the album.
Okay.
Because I was under the label Micro Records, you know what I mean? And when they were, you know,
Which is
drifting
Toronto
apart.
Mass Choir, for those who don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And they had a few other artists under their label. So I was the
Nifty
only
on there too?
No, Nifty wasn't under there. But I was the only reggae artist under the label. You know what I mean? A lot of people, management company and label, they don't know the management. They don't know they don't know what to do.
So that's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
That's related, I think, at least, to being a Jamaican in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if you're in Jamaica, it's like there's heavy competition.
Yeah,
right?
and it's even more crazier in the Caribbean. I believe every reggae artist who is in Canada have to go to the core. You understand what I'm saying? If you do hip hop, you have to go to the core.
Right.
If you do country, you have to go to Nashville for a little bit. Just that's all. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
So, on a quick side note with that, then, thinking about the progression from Timing to Template to now Love Script.
Yeah.
The Afrofusion is clearly a huge impact on this particular project.
Yes.
Like, as I listened to it, even from when you first were telling me about it years ago, I think before you started the first song, you started telling me you want to do like an Afrofusion project, and I'm just like, I don't know that much about it, so
Yeah, man.
I trust you because you always come correct.
Yes, sir.
But clearly you've been putting effort into just flowing in that rather than, you know, trying to make it a novelty kind of thing. And when I listen to the Love Script project from beginning to end, separate from the singles you've been putting out, it has a very distinctive feel throughout.
Yeah.
All those songs, the sounds that you're choosing. Where are the influences that like you were actually listening to in terms of artists or
when I start tapping into the Afrofusion, Afrobeat space, those times like guys was like Wizkid was big, techno was big,
Right.
P Square was big.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And man, there's so much more in that space. But it's the song KC. There's another artist called KC, Kiss Daniel, and all of these guys. I was listening to all David, but before David blew up, his first song.
Okay.
I was listening to it, and I'm like, you know, this is a youngster. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this guy is fire. And look at Davido now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but the Love Script album, I think I was talking to you previously, and I tell you why I even got back into the music space because I took a pause. Took a pause 2014. 15 because I remember that one year I was doing a lot of music festivals.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're like doing like maybe 40 to 50 festivals a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was on the road like 6 months at a time and stuff like that. And I remember we came off the road and some incident happened, you know what I mean, with management and I. No, it wasn't really with the manager, it was with myself. And because we had from Golden Guitar, we had Yamaha, you know, suiting out the band and all of these things. And we have National Car Rental was a part. There's, you know, all these endorsements we're getting, you know what I mean? And it was fantastic. And things was just on the rise, was going, man. And it just, sometimes when you're going up, it just, everything just come down, crash, you know what I mean? And you'll be like, man. And like, we got rebooked for next year, and I remember things happened with the car and stuff like that, and my management said, you know what, okay, we're done, we're not going back on the road and this and that, we're gonna turn over the tour to some other people, but you have to be there because I was the name behind the whole tour.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're gonna get a different band, we're gonna dismantle the band and all of these things, you know what I mean? And I'm like, that year, 1 year, 2014 or 2013 or 2014, I was depressed for 1 year. I didn't talk about it. Didn't tell nobody what was going on. I was just in my little space. I said, you know what? He said, you know, management made me. I said, no. God made me, man.
Right.
You know, you just help me enhance certain areas of what's going on. You know what I mean? We all benefit. You know what I mean?
So it makes me think of this image that you have as the cover for Love Script.
Exactly.
Because it's showing you at the top of a mountain.
Yes, and the valleys, the dark place. You know what I mean? Because when I decided I want to get back into music, I called Promise because I believe everybody that has a gift or talent, it wakes them up at night. It keeps them up at night. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are things we go through these challenges. I'll be up in tears. I will go to my my day-to-day space because I said I want to go back into the workspace to see what it's like. You know what I mean? And it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
As I have that business mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I called Promise one day. I said, you know what? I need you to come holler at me. You know, come meet me.
Yeah.
He said, when you're ready, call me. And months does go by, and I said, I'm ready. Come check me. Promise, come and check me. We'll pull up on Young Street, and for 2.5 hours, we're there, and I was talking, and I was bawling my face off.
Yeah.
I said, man, this music thing is calling me bad. I need to get back to this space.
Yeah.
Because I think I understand what journey looks like, and understand what gifts look like, and understand what talents look like.
Right.
You know what I mean? The gift is just natural, but the talent is something you have to keep developing. You know what I mean? And I said, you know, he said, you're sure you're ready? I said, man, I can't be more than ready, but still nervous.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what?
It was how long, at that point, how long had it been?
4 years. I took off.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I've been just going to events, watching all my friends them on stage, and I'm like, that's me.
And that's 4 years off from how long since you had started? At least over 10 years that you were going nonstop.
Nonstop, man.
Yeah. So it was the first time you took a break from music.
Took a break, yeah. And he said, you know what? If you want, let's do it. He brought his studio to the apartment, and that's where we did Noya. And that's when we shot that first video.
Right.
Yeah. And he said, he asked me, you know, the funniest thing, I said, this is what I want to talk about on the album. So
Yeah.
you have to be very vocal in the writing. You know what I mean? Because if I tell him something, his mind is taken somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we see the video already and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? Anybody we get on this project, you know what I mean? They have to be up there with us. You know what I mean? Videographer have to be up there with us. Photography, everything, you know, music videos.
Yeah.
And I said I wanted to do 85% music video for the album. I don't know where the number came from, but I said, I don't know where the money gonna come. We have to go find it. You know what I mean? And I said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to talk from behind the curtain. Behind the curtain, because a lot of people, they know you
Yeah.
in front of the curtain, you're on stage, doing, you know, work, whatever, doing whatever.
Right.
But when the dust settles, do they really know you?
Right.
That's where I wanted to take the project.
So tell me about this, because you and I had a conversation not far off from that conversation you're referring to at Promise.
Yeah.
And we happened to catch a little bit of it on video. And that phrase that you said, music is calling me.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I ended up editing that video, and at the time I was pretty much taking a break from music myself. And it's amazing to how much that one quote seeped into me.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of focusing back on music as well.
Mad.
So what I'm thinking about is, at the time when you said that, you had this big concept of the marketplace.
Yes.
We did an event even about the marketplace, and then it morphed into the love script. How did that happen?
Because I was listening to a lot of music business and how they can start with a name for a project and later on it can change. You know what I mean? And the marketplace, because, you know, I don't remember where I was, but I was in a grocery store somewhere. And then from the grocery store, I was walking on literally Young and Eglinton. And I'm seeing people just moving, like chaos, people just moving. I'm like, marketplace. It just popped up in my mind. And I said, you know what? This is the whole movement right here, the marketplace, because people going into all different stores, coming out with something, you know what I mean, something different. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want this album to have a very, there's a like a collage of different color of music and all of these things. You know what I mean? And I said, you know what? I want it to be the marketplace. And then I did the birthday party. You know what I mean? We shot some videos and stuff like that.
Man, it was up on the website and everything, and then something happened, and the direction shifted to the love script. So what happened?
Because we did in COVID, when we had the lockdown, we did over 30-something songs. You know what I mean? And then we had to chop it up.
That was like monthly or weekly at the studio?
Dude, I was at the studio every week. I drove all the way out to like Halton Hills. You know, it's like every morning early. I'm at the studio. We beat out 2-3 songs sometimes. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, man, you know, people ask me, how you do it? I said, you know,
included me, I ask you that all the time.
Your gift is calling you, man. When you're excited about your gift, it doesn't matter. You find it. Snow, as promised. Snow, storm, whatever, heavy, I'm there. Because I was just dedicated.
So let's get to the actual birthplace of the love script. So this marketplace concept is living and breathing.
Yes.
And then somehow it turned into the love script. So what happened?
Promise was asking, we were going through names. And so, you know what, because of all of this music that we've done, you know what I mean, I think it might have to change. You know what I mean? And I was open. And if you say something, all right, explore, expound, give me more context on it. And I said, okay, we were going through so many different names. I wasn't attached to a marketplace. You know what I mean? It was just a movement at the time. And it's just something that's, bro, I don't know, man. It's like I just saw the thing that's happened or just dropped in my spirit. And I'm like, love, script. God is love, scripture. How can I fuse the two of them? Love, script, because is now the music, my life, my journey, scripture. And God is love because, you know, I have to love people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I already love people. You know what I mean? So let me fuse the two of them, love script, and then we just push it to them. I'm Mr. Promise, what do you think? Love script, go sleep on it, come back.
So when that title came, how much of the songs were already recorded?
All of the songs were recorded.
Okay, so was it the title that helped you decide which songs, or was it the songs that you were selecting helped you decide on
Well,
the title?
Promise select all the songs.
Okay.
Because we had to, because the love script is the conflict side and the love side. So it's two albums.
Okay.
So I was thinking to do a double album.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then the third album would be called The Man Within, The Man Inside.
Okay.
So it's me, the man outside looking in, or the man inside looking on the outside at the other man.
That I have to say it because you're talking about something that is a hook in one of my new songs that I'm working on.
Yeah.
People on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
People on the inside looking out.
Looking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was watching myself going down the street trying to catch up to this guy to have a conversation with him. That's where the man within. That's where you get the something about life. That's where you get by. You know what I mean? That's where you get winning. All of these things. You know what I mean? And there's more songs on the bill.
Okay, so now we're talking about songs that are not on the album.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be talking about the album.
Man.
So, you know what? Maybe what we should do is use this as a nice transition point to start listening to the songs one at a time.
I think so.
Because the theme of the album, Love Script, is fitting.
Yes, sir.
Right? Based on the songs that are on it. And so I'm going to play one song at a time.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll talk a little bit about each one.
Let's make it happen.
All right. So let's start with the first song, which is
Noya.
Noya.
Man, I'm still in love with that song because that song, man, is that's what changed the whole trajectory of the new branding
Right.
of Jermaine Cowan. You know what I mean? Man, Noya.
All right.
Yeah.
While we're playing this, just for fun, I'm gonna give you something here. So in the final edit, we're not gonna play this whole song.
Yes.
But in the meantime here, because I know you're artists,
Yes, sir.
I want to give you something to play with. You ever tried one of these?
No.
So I want you to draw anything that comes to mind that maybe feels a little bit like the Love Script album. Just have fun.
I couldn't see me living without you. I would just cry all of the time.
This guy bringing me in my creative space, eh?
Yeah. No rush, because every time I play a song, you can continue.
Yeah. Let's see you tell me say you want.
All right. I'm going to pause there.
Okay.
Okay, so Noya was the first single that was put out.
Yes, sir.
So we have to talk about the sound and the genre.
Yeah.
Because this is one of maybe 2 songs on the album that kind of feel like a reggae song.
Yes. Yeah.
So
the reason for this thing, because I still have to keep the bass reggae. You understand? So if you listen to Noya, if you listen to like Cinderella, if you listen to like We, For Granted, you know what I mean? Those songs and also Caught Up, those have the belly of the bass of reggae.
So as you were talking about starting the project with Promise, do you remember when you first heard the instrumental for this, or did that inspire the song, or was it?
You know what? The first time I heard this, the track, 2 artists came to mind.
Okay.
There was Popcorn came to mind.
Okay.
And there was Whiskey came to mind.
Okay.
Those were the two artists.
Okay.
And but one of my favorite artists that I always like to listen to was well, everybody like Vibes Cartel.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Beanie Man. Mm-hmm. Those are my two favorite reggae artists.
Okay.
And they're the only person I heard on the track.
Ah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? I want to bring some influence of vibes on it.
Right.
And playfulness of Beanie Man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And maybe bring a little street vibe with Popcorn.
Okay.
And the fusion of the Afro with Whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you remember if it was one of the tracks where you heard it the first time and you're like, oh, I want that one? Or did it take longer?
Well, Promise normally it would just bring like, say, you know what? I already listened to the track and I feel like, no, what? you should sound on it.
Okay.
You know, and it just throw it out and you know what? I mean, a few people can even go do an interview for me. I know exactly what to say.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And he's one of them. You know what I mean? And big shout out to my own management. You know, I still have to big shout out to him, Deshaun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he can go sit down and go do my sound, everything. You know what I mean? And I believe you can do that too. And Andrew James.
True.
Yeah.
So with this particular one, when you first heard it, was it just the instrumental, or did he already have the song idea?
The idea was there, and he asked me about it. You know what I mean? What I think, and I said, you know what? I like the idea. Let's expound on it. And then the melody, I came up with the melody.
Okay.
And threw it out at me, and I'm like, I kind of like it because it have that dancehall swag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the content, what we're going to put on it now, lyric content. I'm like, you know what? We want it because I want young people to move to this. You know what I mean? And people, it doesn't matter the age group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know this song wouldn't be for everybody. Because when the song finished, I was Senator Radio.
Yeah.
Even the church couldn't comprehend with the song. Because I thought it was a woman I was talking to. And I want them to think that because that's the carnal thinking. You know what I mean? I wanted people to think deeper because I believe when Jesus was walking, he was a conversationist. And we wanted to hold conversation.
It's funny because overall, like, Noya is probably one of my favorites off the album.
Yeah.
Not because I shot the video, but
big shout out to Studios Live. I show Krown.
Yeah, but I do like it. It's
sir.
definitely one of my favorites. But overall, like, thinking about the sound of the album, like I say, it was a bit new to me also.
Yes.
And lyrically speaking, like, I don't think it's that far off in terms of the gospel audience, but some of your audience fans that have known you for a long time, they know you for a lot more explicit gospel content.
Exactly.
So I could see where that might have thrown them off a bit. But you did get some play with it on, like, mainstream radio as well.
Yeah. That's where most of the music is mainstream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it touched the gospel scene, it touched the gospel scene.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I have the experience in like all these festivals.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to stay there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I said, you know what? Bible tell me to go out into the world.
Yeah.
That's what he told me to do. You know what I mean?
And
to
it
become
does
fisher
open
of
up
men.
conversations.
And that's what I wanted.
Right. Okay.
Maybe that's why we're here today.
There you go. So
You know what I
let's
mean?
go into.
But hold
sorry.
on. The song is about John 3:16. You know what I mean? God is beating on your heart for so long. You know what I mean? How many times that you ask Him for things and then you take it and you're gone. When we give it to you, you're gone. Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Try every time to surprise you. Bring something new in your life. You question it every time. Like blessing from heaven, but why? You know what I mean? So it's a deep song. You know what I mean? So him saying, I would like to get to know you. I've been trying for so long. You know what I mean? Why every time that you fall is my name you call.
Wow.
So I give my life. Because I couldn't see me living without you. I would just cry. I really want to know you. Him trying to walk and talk with you. But because the message didn't come like how the church wanted to come, that's why, then some gone secular.
And it's interesting because the concept of a bridegroom is often how
Exactly.
the Lord is described throughout Scripture.
Yes.
So, singing a song from that perspective, it makes complete and perfect sense.
I go to a lot of weddings. I hear people walking down to Christian wedding, people walking down to, Luther Vandross and all of these things.
Yeah.
So I said, why can't I sing these songs?
Right.
His love. I want to sing those songs.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
sometimes, it's not for everybody though.
Right. Fair enough.
Mad.
Wow. So that's the first track.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Going into the next one relates to something you've been bringing up a lot is a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Collaboration is like a hallmark of your career to this point. I think.
Yes.
This album has, out of 9 tracks, was it 7 collaborations?
Yeah. It was intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's play a piece of the next track, which is Believe Me, and then we're going to talk about that.
Say no more. Big shout out to Drew Bex. Mad.
Yes.
I just feel worthless.
I don't deserve this. I feel the furthest, yeah, from you.
You know I'm nervous.
Jeez.
I'm not so perfect.
You deserve all I. You know why. I don't deserve your love, mother.
You told me first the one you love is me.
Vocals, man. Oh. But I wanna serve with all the love. Everybody want chat,
Hey.
but nobody want talk. Still you make me feel good. Believe me, God. Oh, you make me feel righteous, so like it wasn't my fault. Your love is so good, mighty, right away. Yeah, man.
I gotta make sure we get to hear a bit of Drew Beck's on this.
Yes, Drew Bex, yeah, man. Big shout out to this one. He's an amazing rapper, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We've known each other for years,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Woo.
Believe me, being oppressed and my faults isn't easy. But I confess when I fall to my knees, I get all of the peace I was promised to receive.
And I work so hard to please thee, mighty God.
Not a busy body,
Yes, sir.
the pain inside me make me wanna retreat. It's easier to ask when they see me. When they ask if my answer's easy. When they ask, I'ma say that it's all good. But that's kept like a bag of beans.
Jeez, I gotta stop there. Okay.
Yes.
Drew Beck's came solid.
Let's give the goosebumps.
So the thing I'm wondering about is how the collaborations came. You said it was by design that there's a lot of collaborations. How did those start to come together?
First of all, we weren't even thinking about it. Drew Bex was on the list.
Okay.
There were so many other artists on the list. You understand what I'm saying? And I wanted a transition of a rapper, but any decision we promise and I make, we're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I thought about even my boy, The Journey, because he's very versatile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's some other cats I thought about too, and
Yeah.
some other mainstream cats I thought about on the project too. You know what I mean? I don't want to shout out a lot of them,
Right.
but there was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Drew Bex. And then I started to listen some of his sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I love the Drew Bex now.
Right.
I said, you know what? Promise, let's get him on it.
Yeah.
And then you send it to him. I think he did 2 verse on it,
Okay.
2 different sound. And I said, no, this is the one I like. This
Yeah.
Drew Bex I want on it.
Right.
And it was just a beautiful thing.
Okay.
Now the visual, we needed the visual.
Yes.
And I'm like, what we wanted to talk about. You know what I mean? And
That's a big thing on this song.
yeah, because the song said everybody want talk, but it's not everybody want talk. Chat. But you still make me feel good because a lot of us brought up into a situation in our life. It's like, you may come from a home of molestation or whatever. you didn't choose it. You were brought up into it. You know what I mean? Everybody brought up into certain things, but they didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, but if everybody know me, I deal with social commentary. You know what I mean? I would talk about things that you don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the convention thing that everybody talking about.
Right.
Let me go deeper than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And where we took it, and I think, you know what I mean? Where's Krown? Don't mess with this one. But we big shout out to Krown and Flash Forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They came on board because they came on board with the first song, which is the last song, and then Believe Me was the next song. I said, you know what?
Right.
We sent the song and came up with the treatment, and the song we could have took it to different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, I think Krown said, you know what? Let's do it more like what do you call it? Somebody's going through like trauma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so because a lot of black people don't do therapy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us grew up, especially Caribbean people, there's a lot of trauma in the house.
Yeah.
It's like father molesting the kids, or the mother molesting the kids, or somebody beating somebody. And we just grew up on, you know, for me, I grew up, how we show love, I believe, it was just food and arguing. That was my starting place.
Right.
You know what I mean? I grew up in a house of six women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kids all over the place.
Yeah.
And we watched so many transition, and it affected us as we grew up. Some people grew up in a space that they were molested in the home and don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you ask even some of my black folks, I have to stress the black folks thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to do therapy, man. What do you mean therapy? Come talk to us.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you going to tell me?
Right.
How many trauma you going through that you don't even know what to talk to me about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the perspective we wanted to do it. And so I said, big shout out to King Krown Media and Flash Forward, man, to come out strong on this. You know what I mean? They love the song. And we say, you know what, we're going to do it. We booked the Airbnb, and we went up. I bring out all the people that needs to be there.
Yeah.
And they were very professional, man. You know what I mean? So I recommend them for any videos.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And, man, they worked. When they come with a roster.
Well, anyone with you is gonna work.
Oh my God. Yeah, man.
Shout out your brother also.
My brother, Fabian and Wells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A big shout out to Jubex on this and Promise, you know. So I said we make beautiful music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I believe when, I have to say this, when, because I think maybe Flash, I have to call his name, you know what I mean? Because, you know, he heard these songs, I think, For Granted. So he liked the sound.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he's still here, the Massive, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, man, he loved the sound, and I love the vibe, and the whole company, you know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, I love him.
That's
yeah, man.
good. We love that. All right. I don't know if we're gonna get through every single song, but let's see. We did Know Ya. We did Believe Me. The next one is also one of my favorites, I have to say.
Yeah.
So just to set it up, there's Want You, Cinderella, Guyalo, Entering, Caught Up, We, and For Granted.
But you have to play, even if we're going to get to, but you have to play For Granted. And you have to give them a piece of the EDM.
Yeah. So we're going to play at least a piece of everything.
Yeah.
So let's play a bit of Want You.
Singer, Jermaine Cowan.
Lord, how are you?
One thing I have to say, this one as a collaboration felt like, wow, this was such a long time coming and a very welcome collab with DJ Nicholas.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I think when we start talking about it, I'm going to let you know, because we are going to pitch it to different people. And I said, let me use my homegrown.
Yeah.
I want to use my people them that I know for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and you see the same way I went into Jubex, I wanted the authentic Jubex.
Yeah.
It's the same way I wanted the authentic Nicholas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everyone we choose was selective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Yeah,
let's
man.
see if this one.
You don't have to go straight into him, but you know.
That's what I was gonna do, but I can't forward
No,
this.
no.
So I'll let it play.
You the god of the sky. You treat me like I'm your son. You just want me to shine. You're so glad that you have me.
Yeah, man. But
By the
it's
way, side note, tap this square here.
All your love.
Now you have a new layer.
You just know that.
So you can draw on top of it and then you can show or hide it.
oh,
So this is your colors here.
yeah. I can put in my colors too. Yeah. Dark green. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, this make me move.
Yes, yes. This every axis. Your love no regular.
He told Landish bigger than all the stars and all galaxies. You now look return in a charge vaccines. So me preaching like Paul the Evangelist.
Bigger than the. Yeah, man. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll pause.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, when Palmer sent me the song,
Want you.
I Want You, he sent me the rhythm.
Okay.
I was listening to it, and I'm like, I think we can, you know, the first artist came to my mind when I got the rhythm. I don't know if this is Afrobeat.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys know Runtown.
I've heard that name.
Runtown.
Okay.
Runtown is, I think he's one of my favorite Afrobeat artists.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's just unorthodox. You know what I mean? His vibe, his swag.
Yeah.
So when I was gonna do Believe Me, I sent a few of those videos to Krown. I say, you know what? I like this vibe. You know what I mean? And like that ABCD, whatever. And we just went left and just went to this direction on Believe Me, which I love. You know what I mean? But with Want You, there was this other artist came to mind when I saw, and we did the animation.
Yeah,
animation
the video was animated,
Animated.
which was sweet.
But I was so disappointed when it took a month and a half for it to be done. And when we got it, beautiful. When we say, okay, we're gonna throw out the first, just a teaser.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Nicholas' crew saw me throw out the, but we send the video, you know,
Okay.
to him first.
Yeah.
To look at the whole video. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Because you know is authentic dancehall gospel.
Yeah.
And you know, big shout out to him. He's my boy
course, yeah.
for life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the part of the video that we put out as a teaser, because the girls went down and came back up in the video, so they thought it was explicit and they thought it was it's secular. You know what I mean? I'm in the secular world. You know, so this doesn't match his brand. So he called me. He texted me, then called me and said, you know what, you need to take that down, find a different part in the video to post.
Wow.
And so that's what we had to do, and they have never really promoted the song.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? So I love the song. This is a crazy song.
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? But when honestly, when the church seen it, you know what I mean, they thought this boy gone secular.
Wow. It's so wild to me because I know like listeners who are not in the gospel scene is gonna be like, well, what does that even mean? Because it's most likely to them it still sound like gospel.
Exactly.
Right? But it's,
you know what I mean?
The vibe.
It's the vibe, the whole vibe.
And I have to say, like, you guys, this was like, for me, is like my best collab on the project.
Yeah.
Because the vibe and the energy and the way you set the tone throughout the first, say, 60% of the song without his voice, it's just, it feels nice, like you're anticipating. And then he came in strong. And I know a little bit about the verse and
Exactly.
how many versions.
Yes, you know
But
what I
I
mean?
feel like it's such a strong verse
Yeah,
on the song.
exactly.
And he just really brought the energy and the lyricism.
Yes. And you know the thing, we wanted a Toronto sound. So when he heard the song,
Yeah.
I said, man, it sounds like the Drake vibe. You know what I mean? So he fell in love with it.
Ah,
His
okay.
wife fell in love with it and said, you know, we're going to do it.
Okay.
And I said, you know what, big shout out to the Drake vibe. So why not? And I believe it's a really amazing song. And I never really performed the song or wanted to perform the song. You know what I mean? But we have done it a few times, and crowd just not engaged. But it's okay. You're not for everybody. You know what I mean? Those who will hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it will do it justice.
So the journey with this album is very different because it's like you're reintroducing yourself almost to your existing audience.
You have to.
But also finding new audience and having to introduce yourself to them.
Yeah.
So, man.
You always have to keep reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this next song, absolutely 100% is a reinvention of your sound.
Yes.
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
This one is definitely not a reggae song.
No.
But vocally,
Yeah.
you found a sweet spot in this song.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I'm talking over it too much. Hold on.
I thought it was a dream, but me not sleep. Cinderella, my love is good, my dear.
Cinderella,
My love, keep your head high, oh, oh, oh. Trust me, my love is. God is talking to you. Write the song. God is talking to her. Trust me, my love is good. Trust me now. After this verse, you can't just stop it or talk about it.
Okay.
Because this verse is an important verse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in a while, but you have to take a risk sometime. Girl, you have to clear your mind. Have to clear your mind. Trust me, I will never leave. God speaking to her. Trust me, trust in the word that I keep.
no, I will never leave. Cinderella,
Pull up, mighty God. Yes, sir.
Now, this one I'm just gonna turn it down a bit. Reason being, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 collabs on this project, and there's a female's voice on Cinderella that is not credited.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Oh, man.
duet almost.
Oh, my God. Yes.
So I need to hear a little bit about that.
So,
Hold on, let's hear a bit of it.
I will always trust you, baby. Promise to love you daily. Whatever you need, and you will receive it. I will always love you. I'll be your strength. I give you my hand.
Okay. So a little bit about this vocalist.
you know, funniest thing, Promise is a resource guy. He outsourced things.
Okay.
And we found this girl on Fiverr. And she was based in Jamaica.
Wow.
And we were going through her stuff, and I'm like, man, this would be a really nice contrast on the song. You know what I mean? And we could have put her earlier, but I said, let it be a surprise.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because so I'm gonna go back and forth to the church listeners.
Okay.
Versus the secular listeners.
Yeah.
That's a better term.
Yeah.
Because when the
Mainstream. Yeah.
So when the church listeners hear my vocals, my verse going in,
Yeah.
they're gonna think it's straight gospel. You know what I mean? But it's a gospel song. But I wanted to speak to the mass of people. But when she come in and say, "Oh, I will love you, baby. Promise you love me dearly," and all of these things, I'm talking to my spouse. You know what I mean? But here we're going to go deeper with the song now. Is really God speaking to a broken woman. We could have used the virtuous woman, but we said, no, but everybody can relate to Cinderella because I'm dealing with the mass of people. You know what I mean? So I said, okay, if you look in the whole space of a lot of people walking broken. You know what I mean? It could be a financial broken, it could be emotional broken, it could be a physical broken, whatever broken is it.
Yeah.
People are broken.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was looking for, so I was watching, I wouldn't say I was watching Cinderella story, but everybody know the Cinderella story.
Right, yeah.
Is not, so when the prince started looking for the next fit for that shoe, it's not everybody could fit that mold, every mold.
Yeah.
What shoe fit you can fit these people in the background. You understand?
Yeah.
When you go on your foot, it fit you.
Yeah.
That's who God, God made you special.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And now in the verse it said, so me's a man, I like road. I like to connect with people outside the four walls. You know what I mean? One girl at the party. Everybody always have that one person on their mind. You understand?
Yeah.
When you find that one person, that become your Cinderella. You know what I mean? You follow that one girl right through the whole place.
Right, yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it don't have to be a woman. It can be a job you look for. It can be somewhere you want to settle your mind.
Wow.
As in a country. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You understand? So I like to bring people out into the water to the point that they reach them a place that it challenges them to think. Because I believe a lot of us, like believers, we're expecting manna to keep falling down. So there's no work for us to go in. So we get lazy. You know what I mean? But get back to the song. If you check the second verse, you know what I mean? You haven't been trusted in a while.
Wow.
But you have to take a risk sometime. Girl, you have to clear your mind. You have to clear your mind.
You wrote that one, yeah?
No, Promise wrote that song.
Oh, wow, okay.
What is the story behind it? We sit down and have that conversation.
You know, I find that fascinating because on the full album, that second verse is one of my favorites. And part of why it's one of my favorites is because the delivery, vocal delivery, I hear more Jermaine that I've heard the texture of your voice on previous recordings, and I like hearing that texture of your voice. But also the delivery style is more reggae delivery, even though the music is sonically a bit more of the Afrofusion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a really solid one. I like that one a lot.
Everybody loved that song.
Yeah.
But when I push that song in the space, you always get that challenge because I'm not saying the virtuous woman.
Wow.
But it's okay. Because, who will hear the message is, will hear it. You know what I mean? And so I get the challenge there, but it's really talking about the virtuous woman. And I'm really talking about, the spouse in my life. I'm really talking about somebody who's looking for somebody, you know what I mean? Because even the spouse in my life go through challenges.
Yeah.
She's broken some place in her life. I'm broken some place in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're trying to do life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trust me, trust in the word that I speak. You know what I mean? I will never leave.
Yeah.
So I can be a Cinderella too.
Okay.
That is it.
So we're looking forward to when that one becomes a music video.
Mad.
We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back on Coffee with Craig. All right, so Jermaine, that was Cinderella, which is one of my standout tracks in terms of your reinvention, in terms of the sound, but definitely fusing the reggae vocal styles to make it Jermaine Cowan.
Mad.
So that brings us to one you did do, probably the biggest music video, I think, out of the project so far.
Project, yeah.
It's Guyelo.
Jeez.
Let's hear just a little piece of it.
Yeah.
Now, right off the bat, it has sonically those sort of marimba or xylophone type of bell sounds.
Yes, sir.
That flows nicely.
I'ma take my shot.
Give it all I got. Ew. Girl, I own me a woo. I can even.
Think this might be love.
Ew. Ew. And you're bringing up my best side.
When you with me, not in a disguise. When you with me, always excited.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm gonna put a ring on it. Jeez.
Royalty.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, Lord. Hey.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, Lord. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, Lord.
Man, these songs are not reggae songs.
I know.
Your first album and your second album were reggae
Yeah.
albums.
Yeah, we wanted to have the core.
You had some diversity in the
Yeah,
sound,
yeah.
but they were reggae albums. This is not a reggae album.
Yeah.
Guyelo again. What's the deal here? Sonically, I'm talking.
Man, I tell you, you know, even the undertone, those guys, the backgrounds. If you know the song, it's an holiday, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so Ding Dong and this other artist who sing it, been a big song.
Ah.
So he's the one doing all the undertone.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so and the whole project,
Yeah.
there's some serious big producers on this project.
Right.
So we went all out on this project. And big shout out to Dr. Dizzle on this one. You know what I mean? Dizzle Lab, we can't forget them. So a lot of the producers on this album, so from like, they're produced for like Bad Bunny and Rihanna and Beyonce, all of these guys,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think I sent you some stuff with the description of the album
Right.
and the individual songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this song, Guyelo,
Yeah.
what it means she's the one. You know what I mean? Or she is the one, whichever
Yeah.
role for you. But she's the one because, as I said, I always wanted to do songs that I can actually sing to my spouse.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And because I've been doing a lot of festivals and, you know what I mean, and, you know, few weddings and stuff like that, you know, I'm like, man, I want my music to be everywhere. You know what I mean?
It's fascinating. I'm fascinated by this concept because big crossover gospel artist CeCe Winans.
Yeah.
A lot of her music, people say, sound like love songs.
Yeah.
And you've done something with this project where it's almost like you can put on different glasses and you get a different story.
Exactly.
So when I'm looking through these clear glasses, it's like it's a love song to my spouse, to my significant other. But then if I take these off and put on these glasses,
I'm telling
all
you.
of a sudden now, oh, this is God speaking to me.
Yes.
God
So-
speaking to me saying, you know, you are the one,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
I'm looking to get to know you.
Yes.
You are my Cinderella.
Yes.
You are my everything.
So it's the vertical and horizontal conversation. You know what I mean? So you speaking to your spouse, God speaking to us. So and that formed the cross. You know what I mean? And that's that's how I see gospel for me. That's how I see the journey with the Word of God in my life.
Speaking of the journey, on this song.
Yes, I was gonna get to him.
Okay.
Because he was the three people came to mind when we were gonna do it, and I'm like, no man, let's send it to Journey first. And we send it to Journey, and immediately Journey sent back a demo right away.
Wow. Like within like same day, same week when he
I
talked.
was still at the studio.
What?
Sent back the demo right away.
What?
And I'm like, okay, all right. And then Promise get technical now. You know, we start dissecting the lyric content. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't flow his way, you know, we need to, because he's very particular.
Right.
And that's what I love about him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when he when we listen to it and say, you know what? Send him back change this, change that, send it back. Song was done. And I'm
So the
like,
process was smooth, quick.
yeah. And he fell in love with the song, and I'm saying, you know what, we're gonna shoot the video.
Yeah.
And you know, we have to call the boys them again.
Yeah.
King Krown.
Yes.
Flash forward, we have to call them again and send them song treatment. I think every time when we connect, we're always thinking. I'm always thinking about the next song to shoot,
Right.
and because I have to let them hear the album.
Yeah.
Any idea I come up with, because I'm like, from the first video we shot, I'm like, no, we all connected. This is, you know, I feel like they're part of me, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they understand, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ride, man. And
Yeah.
we're still riding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I try to, I to the point I start push them. You know, I love marketing, and I love
Yeah.
tell people about them and stuff like that. And then we had a video, a camera crew, some young cats, Lamore.
Right.
You know, they tap into what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then we're Sheldon Patton, tap into what we're doing.
Yeah.
I say, you know what? Because you need a team. You know what I mean? And the band is there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now the band is getting all the stems.
Yeah.
So we can start rehearsal to start putting these stuff together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of stuff, me and King Krown and Flash, we shot them to COVID. When the lockdown, we go out of town, and you know what I mean? And we shot things in town, you know what I mean?
That's that work ethic we were talking about.
Exactly.
Work doesn't stop.
And then I have people who have like space that we can use. You know what I mean? And get them for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we'll just utilize it, and okay, we need, how many people you need?
Yeah.
All right, let's get them. And that's what we did. And man, and it's just the professionalism that's what really jarred me. You know what I mean? I want them to see the vision and tap into, come up with their own creativity on the song, each songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? And man, it's beautiful, man. Guyalo, she's the one, and it was the single for the album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, beautiful marriage on that, man.
So this brings us into track 6, which is sort of in the same vein, sonically, production-wise, genre-wise.
Yeah.
So let's hear a piece of Enter In.
Enter In, man.
A little bit more up-tempo.
Yes, yeah. I love EDM. And I love house music, techno stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the whole place lit. Don't know what to do with what you told me. My God. Oh, oh, oh.
Nothing else exists. All I want from you is you.
Hold me. Here we go. Hey, hey. That's Promise, eh?
Is it really?
Yes.
Singing, hey, hey.
Yeah.
What?
How's that, listen? Yeah.
Wow.
You know how many people on the song?
On this song?
4. I think it's 4.
Who's doing this right here?
Somebody else.
What?
Yeah. Because we wanted that big stadium sound. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
So this one doesn't have the video yet.
No,
But-
but we have like reels.
Yes,
You know
yes.
what I mean? Just
Which look like music videos.
yeah, it's not music videos.
Yeah.
Funniest thing when we did them, you know what I mean? I got a call from Krown. Hey, did we say we're gonna shoot this video?
Wow.
Yeah, man. But no, we're gonna actually shoot that video. But we wanted some visuals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Based on some stuff we were talking about, and see if we can implement it, you know what I mean, and do the bigger picture of it. You know what I mean? But if you understand what this song is about, you know what I mean? So I'm going to take you a little deeper on this.
Okay.
Okay? So this song is really talking about the burning bush. You know what I mean? Moses on the burning bush.
Okay.
That's what this really song is. You know what I mean? As soon as you enter the room, you got the whole place lit. Because when you come into the presence of God, you know what I mean? Your countenance change. You know what I mean? Don't know what to do with what you're doing, because everybody get a word. Everybody gets something. is what you do with it. Moses got the mandate to take Israel out.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he needed a spokesperson. So I believe that's where you get publicists and all of these things, because a lot of us can't speak for ourselves. You know what I mean? If you to get somebody to book for you,
Yeah.
you need somebody else to do that for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I saw business in that, in that whole situation there. And I saw, you know, when he said, when the burning bush was leaving, you know what I mean? He said, hey, where you going? So I guess you're not from around here. A lot of time, the presence of God will leaving you. When he's leaving, you know what I mean? You know, we're
So
always,
is it us saying to the presence of God, where are you going? Or is it the other way he's saying to us?
No. We're saying, hey, where you going?
Ah.
You know what I mean? I guess you're from not around here. You know what I mean? But it's almost like a girl I'm talking to. You at a house party. This girl come inside, and you know, and this girl just catch four, and both of you just up and down. You know what I mean? It's almost bring it back to almost like a Cinderella story.
Right.
When she's leaving, hey, where you going?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
give me a number or something.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right.
But that's what I want you to think. That's what exactly what I want you to think. But that's what's gonna create the conversation, take you deeper to the thing. You understand what I'm saying?
So on this journey that you're on, where one of your first moniker was God's messenger, it sounds like you still have a high priority on message.
I do. I do. You know what I mean? Because, you know, he said, take care of him flock. We take care of him, so I don't really worried. Even there are days that they get worried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the work still goes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the job, you know. It's the work. Because the work is the gift. So the gift comes, you can break down the gifts in many parts. You know what I mean? And man, I think because I fell in love with the work, and I fell in love with the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what even keep me standing today. And I said, this is all I really want to talk about there. Because there's a lot of people I want to connect, even in the like Muslim community and the Jewish, I want to talk to everybody. Because I want to have a conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to bring my high chest on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's you know, because I believe I'm a Gentile, not a Pharisee, because it's a Pharisee that killed Jesus.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we are Gentiles. And he came to come, that's why he come and sit beside me. And they didn't like it.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk from this perspective. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why this man wash this guy's feet and didn't call himself king? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is all I want to take the album, to give people a broader perspective, you know what I mean, and show them how cool we is and we're swags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as I say, I love to dance. That's why I wanted that type of sound.
Okay.
But if you listen, but bro, if you YouTube or whatever, certain genre, you see how big it is.
Yeah.
How many artists, how many in the church space do animation? Not a lot.
Right.
I want to tap into those space.
Yeah.
My gift has to make room for me.
Yeah.
But it didn't say my gift gonna make room for me just in the four walls. The gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. Who are the great men? The great men could be even the man who begging on the roadside, because you don't know what he's carrying. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to think bigger picture. Because the great, you know, the Bible didn't talk about the Samaritan.
Wow.
We don't even want to go there.
It's really coming out brightly to me right now how much this album means to you in terms of the message of it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll be honest, I understand that there's the double meaning, but for the most part, up to this date, I'm like, Love Script is a love album. It's love songs. It's for, you know, people who want to hear love songs. But the depth of how much thought went into making sure that the message mirrors and parallels and
Yes.
Can very clearly be defined by the love of God for people.
For people.
Man, it's really got me to think about this differently, and therefore when I listen to it now, I'm listening differently.
Yeah, you have to. You know what I mean? And as I say, you know what I mean, I'm a lover, man, and I want to love on that woman. You know what I mean? I don't want to serenade her with music. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want you to take my music and serenade your woman with their
Giving
music.
me segue lead into the next track. Caught Up. Let's hear a piece
Yo,
of this.
right away.
Featuring Nifty.
Big shout out to Nifty Christian, and big shout out to Shady Swag from
Yes.
Buffalo, man. And that's Promise right there again.
Okay, promise.
Big shout out to Promise, man. He's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
Look, I don't wanna waste no time.
No way.
See it in your face all night.
Maybe we could date 2 times. I just want to stimulate your mind.
Okay. I'm gonna pause that. I'm gonna play a piece of We, which is the only song on the album
Yes.
that is officially featuring
Featured Promise.
This one also vocally, what you did on the track, I really like. I like hearing. This is just my personal taste, and knowing you all these years, I like hearing that texture of your voice where it sounds a little bit more unprocessed.
Yes. And I didn't want to do the song.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. This was the most challenging song, but it was the easiest song. Yeah.
How so? How the most challenging, but also the most easy?
Listen, man, when we, as I promised, if we're going to do this whole journey, man, you have to go beyond our collaboration.
Yeah.
And you know Promise, he's very picky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And said, okay, he's going to select the song that he wants to be on. And then he chose the song We, and then he sent it to me, and I'm like, all right, okay. I got scared, literally got scared. I didn't want to do the song. So, because they keep asking me, why you don't want to do the song? But in my back of my mind, I'm like, bro, you know, just I don't know. I was just scared. I didn't want to do the song.
Okay.
But when we did it, we did the song. I did 2 songs. Then we said, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
It was the last song we recorded. And it's like the takes them was just crazy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's just two guys have swag, and you know what I mean, just have things going on with them. And you know, girls them see it and like it, you know what I mean, and they want a piece of the swag. You know what I mean? Because a lot of women like men in position. You understand what I'm saying? And when they see men in position, they're cling to that. And it's like I can say, you know, I mean, a spirit attract. The spirit is attractive. You know what I mean? And sometimes when, you know, you're in church and you see people doing it, I'm like, man, I like to be a part of that. You know? And I said, you know what? This guy video came to mind, and I said, I would love to shot this video, a spin-off of this video. It was 50 Cent.
Okay.
When it is Window Shopper? Is it Window Shopper? Something like that. Something
Candy
like
shop or
something.
window shopping. Yeah,
Window shopping or something like that. That came to mind. I don't know why that video came to mind. And I think it was the vibe. When I was recording it, it was that vibe came to mind.
Okay.
Because you know, sometimes when we're recording, certain type of vibe will hit you. It's like certain swag of an artist will hit you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I like the vibe of this song. You know what I mean? So it brought me to that video, and I'm like, but Promise said, no, I don't like that video. You know what I mean? But we had places where we wanted to shoot it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I've spoke to Krown them about it and stuff like that. But
I will say,
I would love to see this video done.
You are right now living a very clear, defined, narrow road. You know, they say the way to destruction is wide, but the way to life is narrow. And what you're doing musically and lyrically, you're walking a narrow road because you're expressing love sonically. You're doing something that is definitely outside of traditional sound of gospel.
Yes, sir.
And you're crafting songs and lyrics that you want to make sure that they resonate with that relationship between human and the Most High.
Yes, sir.
and all at the same time, you're also crafting songs that are love songs
Yes,
for anybody that loves a love song. Everybody knows what it is to fall in love, to have a broken heart, etc. So we don't want to take none of this for granted.
Exactly. That leads you to that song.
Last track on the album.
Yeah, and this is the transition song for the next album because it's a conflict, love and conflict, you know, bittersweet. Yeah.
I know what time it feel like I'm not alive. And then sometimes it seems like it's greener on the other side.
Baby, I telling you, jeez.
Take my love from you.
This is another one that makes you want to move.
Yeah. This is the Afro reggae dance song.
Yeah.
I don't need, I don't need, I don't need your love.
I want it.
Want it. I want it. I want you.
Don't take our love for granted. Mad.
Yes. That, Jermaine,
Yeah.
is a love script.
Yes,
We don't
sir.
want to take it for granted. It's already available on streaming platforms everywhere.
Yes.
Music videos, you've got that 70% already done. So what for you is the song that you really don't want to take for granted out of this album for whatever reason?
Well, there's two songs. One is the first one, Noya,
No, yeah.
Cinderella. You know what I mean? Then we can jump to this last song.
Okay.
Yeah, those because
Like the
you know
cornerstones.
cornerstone. Because we're in relationship. You know what I mean? And I think part of it because you know I had 5 greatest decisions in my life. I made 5 greatest decisions in my life, and that 2 greatest conversation. You know what I mean? And the 2 greatest conversation changed my life, business wise and personally. You know what I mean? And the personal part bring a lot more conscious to me. You know what I mean? Bring me into consciousness. So in the decision I make, I have to be clear. You know what I mean? My mind has to be because it's like if you know God can connect with you when you're in chaos. You know, you bawl and I cry down your place and all that. No, you need to be focused. So I can talk to you.
Right.
I can talk to you when you're making a whole heap of nice guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had to be in that space to do what I need to get done. You know what I mean? But because I'm in relationship and I'm in relationship with God,
Yeah.
you know, people. So that's why those 3 songs kind of have a staple.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
For Granted.
For Granted and Cinderella. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those other songs just follow it.
Yeah. Those are 3 that I really like.
And it's the texture in my voice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this project, it really threw me for a loop when it was coming together all the way
Yes,
up
sir.
to it finished, because it doesn't sound like anything you've done before. In terms of what you originally had in mind and what the project is, how do you feel about the execution in terms of the sound and the message?
Man, I think the message we accomplished that. The sound. To be honest, we accomplished the sound. We accomplished what we wanted, and we accomplished what we wanted people to talk about. You know what I mean? So we can actually draw the conversation. You know what I mean? And so I have to say a big shout out to you because you're the first actually dissect it, the album. I want to talk about it. You know what I mean? I've done a bunch of interviews, but it's like people are lost. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you say A, they want A.
Right.
But
That's
maybe
what-
this is not for you then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the message is clear.
Well, you know, Snoop Dogg did a gospel album
Yes.
not too long ago.
Big shout out to Dizzle. Dizzle was part of that.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, there you
part of
go.
that.
So it's like, you know, artists in their journey, they grow and they have to explore and they
Yes.
have to find new ways to reinvent both their sound
Exactly.
and the message and so on. So you're on that journey. You say you have another 2 albums in the bank right now.
Yes, sir.
So we don't want to take for granted that this is the stopping point.
No.
We don't want to put a full stop when God said it's a comma.
It's a comment. You know what I mean?
So what is now for Jermaine in terms of looking forward to and kind of living every day? Is it more thinking about what the next project is becoming, or is it getting this love script to as many ears and hearts as possible?
Well, that is it right there. Trying to get it to as many people as possible, because we haven't toured it yet. I haven't officially done a live show for the album. We have pre-record stuff. We shot. I think we basically shot everything through COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the listening party was shot through COVID. And the beauty about that listening party, the listening party, we shot it behind the scene of a music video. So for granted, that song, we shot the entire listening party behind the scene while Krown and Jamal them tearing down things, rebuilding set. We're shooting the listening party.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I think it was my birthday too.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll celebrate everything one time.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because how I got that idea was when I saw Kanye West did his album launch at a barnyard, fire barn. You know, this fire blazing, and everybody was just all over there and just listening to the album. And I'm like, wouldn't it be a great idea if I do the listening party behind the scene of the music video? And that's what we did.
Okay.
And everybody was just moving things around, and we're just doing our thing.
Right.
And I'm like, I think it was a nice concept.
True.
You know what I mean? And we shot the album launch.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we chop it up to stream it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a good feel. But you know, I wanted to touch people.
Yeah.
So we haven't get to done that part yet. You know what I mean?
Have you been surprised at all in terms of what song has become the most popular?
I hear different conversation of different songs.
Okay.
Hit people different.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
So is there one that stands out for you as the top? I'm gonna take this for a minute.
Booyalo.
Okay.
And what's the song? Cinderella.
Okay, because the reason I mention it is, according to streaming services, the two most popular is "Caught Up" featuring Nifty and Chad, and "Want You" featuring DJ Nicholas.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
That's the starred most popular on streaming.
Okay, all right.
So you are a bit surprised.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Okay, why does that surprise you?
It's a Caught Up. Man, I think because we haven't. You know what? We shot a little promo thing for Caught Up. You know. Yeah, it was just a lyric video we shot for Caught Up.
Yeah.
And we're pushing that. You know what I mean? Because we were gonna shot the video for it.
Yeah.
But hey, people love what they love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you go shopping, that's why you get so much diverse music.
Yeah.
So you can go in and shop where you want. Nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I shop what I needed. You know, when I look at the album, I said 3 songs I shop for.
Yeah.
And they have been the staple. You know what I mean? And continue to be the staple.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
That is it.
Jermaine, this is historic.
Yes, sir.
You and I have sat down for conversations countless times off camera, off the record.
Yes.
And a few times on the record, on recording.
Man.
But this particular conversation, I think, is a milestone for us. And I'm glad to be a part of this 3rd album.
Yes.
Love Script. I don't want to push too hard to the next project.
Yes.
Because, you know, I'm going to get into my zone where I want some pure hype-up business.
Yeah.
But for now, we're grooving and moving on the Love Script level.
That is it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited about this album. You know, a lot of people, I push this album more to the mainstream. You You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Luring them in. I've done the clubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And big shout out to these clubs that I've gone in and represent my type of vibe and represent the market that I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people see the light that is in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't need to go out there and say, you know what, I'm this, I'm that. You need to talk to them a certain way.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let your light so shine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People will see.
True indeed.
And that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't need to say all of these
You're
things.
so versatile on stage as a performer. A lot of times, too, these types of songs is when I see them live, when I see you perform these songs live, then I get a new level of love for it. So we're going to close off today's episode of Coffee with Craig.
Yes, sir.
This conversation about the love script and share a little bit about the drawing that you express your other side with this.
Well, you see, I always like peace. You know what I mean? And anything to do with water and valley and, you know, trees and, I don't know, I'm not a sign person. But they say you're Pisces, you know, you love water and all of these things. But I'm not all about that. But I'm always drawn to seascapes, landscapes. You know what I mean? I don't do portraits and all of these things. But a lot of people don't know I do drawings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is when I'm in my zone this is what calm me down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so this is just talking about maybe at some point, this is where I want to be. A cabin, looking out.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I see old God doing his thing.
At rest.
Rest.
He leaves me beside quiet waters.
Mad.
All
For your
right.
name's sake.
Ladies and gentlemen, that calls it a wrap for this episode of Coffee with Craig. And officially, I'm going to take some B-roll of Jermaine finishing off that his first time doing a digital drawing. So I'm glad to be able to introduce something new to you and let people know another side of your creativity.
Exactly.
So thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
As always.
Every time. Love.
Yes.
So big shout out to every producers on this album.
Yeah.
Big shout out to every collaboration.
All the producers, all the collaborators.
Yes.
Bex,
Yeah, man.
Nifty, DJ Nicholas.
Yes, sir.
Promise.
Yes.
Your girl Jane.
Big shout out to
Dizzle.
what's his name who did this? Oh my God.
The cover art.
The cover art. Oh my God.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Flash Forward.
Yes, flash forward,
You know what I
Krown.
mean? Krown and
Yeah.
his team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big shout out to them, you know what I mean? To help build a visual, you know what I mean?
There it is. I'm going to look right in the barrel of that and say, if you enjoyed this episode,
Yes.
check out onecreative.club where you can find video footage of Jermaine in his live event series, Big Vibes, collaboration with yours truly and Young Shell. And of course, follow at Jermaine Cowan at all the things. And until next time, and in between time, stay blessed, stay strong,
Right
stay
away.
creative.